Welcome to the Lobot Lounge, the gathering place for the Gentlemen Nerds. The Gentlemen Nerds are three entertainment aficionados who know each other through various media endeavors, getting together to talk about all things nerdy, mostly in the vein of film, television, toys, and popular culture. Many topics are discussed, so be warned, there are the potential for many spoilers. If you like what you hear, you can listen to past shows on iTunes or on our website, thegentlemennerds.com. And now, enjoy the show. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a private showing of a very special book, showcasing a collection of art discussed here for the first time at the Gentlemen Nerds. Each is a collector's item in its own way, not because of any special artistic quality, but because each page captures on a canvas, suspended in time and space, a frozen moment of a nightmare. This palladium of art treasures range from the kooky to the uncommon, from the bestial to the bizarre. And tonight's discussion of this new book release is for the most discriminating, because it's best that both the art and the discussion be both seen and heard in the dark. The place is the Lobot Lounge. Your hosts for this very special episode are Mark Finn and Joseph Fotinos, and the book is Rod Serling's The Night Gallery, The Art of Darkness.
Hey, how are you doing?
Oh, it's so nice to see you.
It's nice to see you too. We normally do this sans video.
Yeah.
I'm very excited that we're getting together to do this. We did actually talk about the Night Gallery on one of the other episodes.
I think we did.
It had to have been one of the Halloween episodes.
Yes. Yes, we talked about TV stuff, I think, and
that's
doing
what
TV memories or something like that.
Yeah, and we both had all of us had a strong visceral reaction to Night Gallery, and so when this book hit on Kickstarter, I guess it was a little more than a year ago now. You were the first person I thought of. I mean, I flipped. I was like, oh my god, I gotta let Joseph know. And so your reaction was exactly what I thought it would be. Cool, I'm going.
Right, I'm in. Yeah. I'm in. And I actually owe you a bit of a gratitude, because you were kind enough to reach out to Brandy, my wife, and tell her, if you haven't seen this, Joseph needs this. So that's literally why I have this. Is it was a Christmas present that arrived this week, but it was, the Creature Features Press. It's still shrink wrapped, as is yours.
Yes.
So we have, ladies and gentlemen, Mark and I made a vow, a pact, if you will, that we were not going to crack this sucker open until we could, as Mark said very wisely, ooh and ah over it like teen girls over Tiger Beat. Just
very much so, yes.
Right. So
and well, I know how hard we are to shop for us super geek monster kid people, and so you're not the first person whose wife or girlfriend has come to me in some sort of blind panic going, what the hell do I do? How do I, what? He has everything, and everything he talks about is gibberish. Now, of course, Brandy's not like that. She gets you, and she understands.
Right.
But
right.
I thought, you know what? Everybody always could use a little extra help during the holidays. And so that was my good deed
Nice.
For both of you.
Very, very much appreciated.
You're quite welcome.
We I guess I want to just kind of also briefly state that we watched, I want to say about 2 years ago, we bought the whole collection of Night Gallery, the every episode collection on disc, and we spent we called it the Summer of the Night Gallery, and like almost every night when we were going to bed, we'd watch an episode of Night Gallery, and then I would post the picture or the painting. I would take a picture of my screen and post it onto Facebook. Go, tonight's Night Gallery presentation is, and I would do that. And there were many of them that I remember. Many of them I actually, had seen maybe dimly as a child and kind of remembered.
Yeah.
And a couple that I had never seen. So it was a treat to go back. I don't know if how recently, Mark, that you've seen the episodes.
I watched some of them about a year ago for Halloween. They were streaming somewhere. I forget where. And I dipped my toe into that water mostly just to sort of bask in the nostalgic glow, because there were some that I was a kid when these were out, and I know that some of the ones that probably scared the bejesus out of me, I'd look at now and go, well, that was cute, So there's I was a little worried that I might hit a childhood memory speed bump and flip over, but I didn't. And part of that was that I went and specifically sort of targeted some of the episodes that I had never seen but heard about. Mm-hmm. So I had more of a vested interest in digging them, right? Yeah, so that was it was cool, And I the thing about it that, of course, I think most people remember had a very different tone than the Twilight Zone. The Twilight Zone sort of ran the gamut of speculative storytelling, and I think that Spielberg's Amazing Stories kind of picked up on that and certainly played up the fantasy element. Night Gallery was more horror, terror, creeping, straightforward in that respect. And so that was it was actually more forbidden as a kid, right? My parents would let me watch The Twilight Zone. They were very dodgy on Night Gallery. I had to sneak it sometimes.
Interesting. Yeah. I know the opening always chilled me when I was a kid, and it's the simplest opening in the world, really, when you watch it now. But it's still the tone of that mournful oboe sound.
Yes.
And then going through the picture frames, and then these faces are coming at you, and they're just faces. They're not makeup. They're not monsters, but they're weirdly distorted with fisheye lenses, and they're all colored in different gels, and they're all expressions of shock or horror or madness, and they're just coming at you with this, the eerie theme of the Night Gallery. And then it ends in the eyeball, right, which reveals tonight's episode. Well, special guest stars, and it does, just like trying to think like the Love Boat almost. It opens up, and you get to see the actors that are, that you will see in tonight's episode.
It was very much of its time in that respect.
Yes. So what extras did they send you? It seems like we both got something in a little separate pack.
What the pledge was for was you got the book, and then there were 2 stretch goals that sort of got blown through pretty quick, right. They were for a bookmark, and I think the bookmark is the same. It's the
I got a different bookmark.
Oh, cool! Wow, man! All right, I got the classic Joan Crawford episode. Yeah,
that's Eyes, directed by Steven Spielberg from the original movie. Yeah,
Speak of the devil, in fact. And so then the other thing that they said that they were going to do was they were going to razor individual pages out of the book, right, and send those along as sort of standalone prints. And of course, I am certain that no 2 of those are alike, and so. I'm interested in seeing which ones you got as well.
All right. So at first I thought that the flip side of the page told me what it was, but I realized if it was razored from the book, what we're seeing on the page is what's going to be next to it in the actual book.
Right.
This one, I want to say I know what it's. I remember this being like a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde episode or short. It was one of the shorts where he drinks it and changes into this horrible monster, and then he grabs his assistant and says something like, "I told you, more vermouth," or something like that. It's a wacky one, but here it is. If you can get in here.
Oh yeah, that's gorgeous.
And it's obviously modeled after Spencer Tracy's Mr. Hyde when the artist took that. But that was one of the ones that I got.
Very cool.
Very cool. And so the other one, which I'm pretty sure is the flip side of Satan, is the episode.
Yeah.
And that episode dealt with a disc jockey who finds himself disc jockeying hell. And he's literally like in this weird afterlife DJ booth.
Yeah.
And that's kind of his eternity. And I like this one a lot because it's got a very unique I'm trying to get without the glare.
Oh yeah.
Gathering there of like spiders and lizards and a weird and the eyes on that. There's a pinpoint of red light.
Pinpoint of red. Yeah, that's cool.
In the center here. So that's a really nice one, and that's from the flip side of Satan. So
that's awesome.
Spill. What did you get?
Okay. So this one, I don't remember this one. When this came out, this was I think this is a season 2 episode, but I don't remember what the story was about. But I love it. It reminds me of It's a Good Life, or
yes.
That
is gorgeous.
This one, I remember the artwork for it.
Yes. I think it's called House with Ghost.
Yes. Okay. There you go.
I think that's what that one is.
So yeah, it's kind of cool. And my pages, if well, they're not in sequential. I thought they would be. I thought they just like grab 2 pages and then you get the next 2 and then so on. But
interesting.
My 2 pages, the page numbers on the back are mine's the back sides are 128 and 136. I don't think it matters. I mean, they're just pages. But
mine are actually sequential. Mine say 96 and 98. So if I say, 96, 97, 98, 99, that. Yeah. So they took because the backs of them, I've got A Fear of Spiders. That's the description.
Yeah.
On the back of this one, but this isn't the back of the flip side of Satan. So that sort of thing, which that's really kind of a neat idea that they gave you the option to have something that you could frame and hang.
Well, I think they anticipated and sort of knew that anybody that was going to be back in this project is going to want some of that. You'd mentioned in that previous episode that you didn't you have a couple of the poster prints that they made, or you saw them and wanted them?
That's right. They in the back of a Warren magazine. I'm pretty sure they had the Night Gallery, and they only had like I want to say like 7 or 8 options. But imagine getting that as a poster. Oh my God!
Yeah. I would have lost my damn mind.
Yeah. Right.
And so this comes with some history of the of how this all came to be, and some of it got published online.
Okay.
Already, and it was interesting to note how many of these original pieces of artwork were in private collections. So they literally chased every one of these down. And I don't know if they, I'm sure it was borrowed rather than reacquired, but. Some of these were in the prop department, and because some of the art direction guys were the ones that painted some of the pictures.
Okay.
And so they were way more scattered than people thought they were. So
and some of the later seasons when they were doing those shorts, a lot of them were quickies. So I imagine there wasn't a whole lot of commissioning an artist to like the Spencer Tracy is obviously they took the image of Spencer Tracy as Mr. Hyde and somebody it's a beautiful painting. Don't get me wrong, but it's different than other ones. I want to talk as you're opening yours. I'm going to talk real quick about the cover that our viewers or listeners can see. But the cover and I can identify a couple of these above the title of Rod Serling's Night Gallery: The Art of Darkness is definitely and absolutely one of my favorite episodes, which is Pickman's Model.
Yes.
And that's front and center at the top. And then over off to the side on the left-hand side in a smaller image is the cemetery from the movie. And on the back, I see the image of Joan Collins from Eyes, the one you have as a bookmark. And I like this behind-the-scenes shot at the bottom of Serling on set of the gallery being filmed. And that's a really nice behind. And I'm hoping for more of things like that in this book, which, shall we?
Yes, let's get into it. I have a special letter opener that
I love
that my wife acquired for me at an estate sale years ago.
Holy
so only
cow.
For special occasions does this thing come out, and I can't think of anything more appropriate than this book.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
beautiful. Oh goodness.
I love the smell of new book in the morning.
Well, the very first thing I can tell you is that, my God, this is quite the collection, and it's
a tome.
It's not a thin book. It's a heck of a book. Okay, so
I went ahead and got the hardcover. I sprang for the hardcover.
Yeah. No, totally. And wow, in the movie, there was a movie with 3 of the stories that kind of premiered first.
Yes.
With the very first thing I see when I open the front cover of the book is the almost white chalk drawing of the I guess the archways that lead into the night gallery. That in the very first episode, that's where the credits were run over.
That's right. This is cool.
Oh, look at that set. And then
I can't believe the size of this thing. You never got a sense of just how big it was. Probably because we were watching it on a 12-inch, black and white television. But sweet baby Jesus, this is cool.
And it's just a limitless black with a ramp and these little circles of painted white, which mimic light circles. And I don't think they are actual light circles. Now that I'm looking at them, because I see shadow on them, so I think they're painted onto the set.
Yeah.
But then the portraits are just hanging by these invisible wires, filling the gallery. And I always wanted an episode that focused on a sculpture.
I know, right? There was always some interesting stuff that you could see, but you never really could tell. And I think you're right. This it's very minimalist. It feels very German expressionist as well. There's strange angles. And the title page, our founder,
there it is. Nice.
Next to a trio of really good. Look at the size of those things.
Yeah,
pretty amazing.
That shot is also from the original movie with Cemetery, Eyes, and Escape Plan. I think was the third one with the Nazi, the ex-Nazi that was hiding in.
Oh yeah,
and got himself in the painting.
Yes. All right. So on the cover page, it's got the contents. We've got dedications, of course, and a foreword. Guillermo del Toro writes something about the show. It's no surprise that he was a fan. Looks like there's a pretty good size essay about the history.
Yeah.
And and look at you. After the history and the pilot and the series, we get the sculptures.
We're gonna get to see the sculptures.
Yeah,
which
up close and personal, man.
Dying to. Oh Lord. The introduction page by Guillermo del Toro, the picture that accompanies it is that hideous doll from the episode The Doll.
God. Oh yeah! Oh man! Yeah.
And it currently resides in Del Toro's personal collection.
There you go.
Can you imagine that thing in your house? Oh,
he's kind of the Peter Jackson of weird,
Yeah. No, hats off, man. That was an episode that really kind of freaked me out.
Oh yeah. I think this was probably what started my fear of possessed dolls. I mean, I saw this before I saw the Magic. TV spot, and it was that just messes you up. I mean, it'll just screw you up.
Look at that.
Boy, howdy, this some great. They've got the title cards here. And it looks like the essays are going to be interspersed with artwork and behind the scenes photos, which is terrific.
Such a big fan of promotional stuff, especially like old TV, that you would see in TV Guide, things like that. On page 7 of mine, it has a collection of these promos that like press kits, television press kits that Universal obviously released. But I love their catch line of "Never watch Night Gallery alone." And that is fantastic.
Beautiful.
There's a picture, and I try to get it down here, but it's kind of small. But it has a very kind of scantily clad young lady wearing what looks like a robe, and she's cuddling on the couch with a skeleton in front of her television. Because don't ever watch Night Gallery alone.
That's right. I don't know that you could call that spooning. Perhaps chopsticks.
Yeah.
I don't know.
A little uncomfortable. Oh,
yeah, that press kit is fantastic.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
More title cards for the third season.
Yeah,
and yeah, this is a pretty comprehensive look as well, which they of course said they were going to do, and the guys that were working on this are, they're basically horror scholars who have done a lot of historical research. Hey, Pickman's model. Page 11.
I know, right? Look at that.
Yeah.
That is a great shot of the creature. I always thought the Pickman's model, because it was universal, and I remember even when I was a kid, hand to God, even when I was a kid, and I saw the episode of Pickman's model, I said to myself, wow, his legs and his arms look like the creature from the Black Lagoon.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the skin, and I come to find out that, no, it's an actual brand new suit that was modeled.
Right.
But I was like, man, it was at Universal. Maybe they just had a little creature suit laying around and they just dressed it up or whatever. But he does bear a resemblance because he's got the, almost like plate-like lines on his arms and legs.
That's right.
But that face, that's fantastic.
The original piece of artwork was originally published in Weird Tales that this was based off of.
Okay. A Pickman's model.
Yeah, and so it was a reprint of the story that they did, but the artist just escaped me. But I'll remember it in a minute and tell you. Fantastic, boy! This is great. This is wonderful. Now I know why my pages skipped. It's because they cut out the essay pages.
Oh,
yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah. Okay. The cemetery. Ladies and gentlemen, we're not going to go through every single page in this book. It would be way too long. But I would.
We need to be alone with our thoughts. For that.
We're going to be here over too long. We're going to need some time by ourselves.
That's right.
The cemetery is fantastic because in the story of the cemetery, the painting changes.
Yes.
And with Roddy McDowall, and no one in the world could say Osmond Portafoy quite like Roddy McDowall could.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite Night Gallery episodes, and one that I remember very strongly seeing in syndication. The sequential nature of the artwork just terrified me. It was so good, and this book has every single sequence, which is fantastic. You got a ghost. So good.
The undead Roddy McDowall walking slowly towards the door. At the end there when he's banging on the door, and then they do that close up of him banging on the door, and is it Ozzie Davis is the Osmond Portafoy, I believe.
Oh yeah, there you go.
I think it was Ozzie Davis. And then obviously the next one is Eyes with Joan Crawford.
And I noticed that they're telling us what the original size is as well as the medium, which is I think that's an art geek detail that probably a lot of Night Gallery fans don't appreciate, but I do. Oil on canvas 42 by 30 inches is basically the size of a movie poster.
It's huge. It's gigantic.
Yeah.
And boy, that is gorgeous. That was a great story. That was, it was directed by a very young Steven Spielberg.
Yes.
Tom Bosley is the poor sap who owes so much money he's willing to cut out his own eyes and donate them to Joan Collins. And ladies and gentlemen, another really great thing is every painting is accompanied by Serling's opening. It's actually written out in text.
Yes.
His opening for the episode or that particular painting, his description of it. So you could read it and think of it in his voice.
Yes, I was just doing that. I was literally, as you said that, I was summoning his voice from the ether. Yeah. I won't subject you to my mediocre Rod Serling impression, but in my head, it's brilliant and spot on.
But you definitely hear it. You just hear it.
Totally. Yes.
Yeah. So the first part is the movie with the 3 episodes, and then of course it goes into the series, talks about the paintings, and leads into that, and then of course the rest of them are there. Oh my God, these are so gorgeous! Look at the working drawings of Pickman's model on 47. I'm just kind of.
They also do. This. I'm really impressed that they went ahead and made this an art book. They get in and do detailed photos of some of the art, which I think is fantastic. I'm getting to Pickman as quickly as I can here. Sweet Methuselah, look at that! Wow.
That is fantastic.
There's other artwork in that episode, right? And so that's what's all of this as well.
Because he's working on. Oh my God! Look at these things.
I can't believe they got all this back together again. How fantastic is this?
Pamela's voice. Oh, that's with Phyllis Diller. God, that is fantastic. And the drawing is horrifying. I'm looking on page 67, Mark, of Pamela's voice, and it's one of the ones that are on the front cover. It's the lower left.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
But that is a disturbing painting.
Yes, it is. Up close, it's wow.
Wow.
Oh, and it's 22 by 22 acrylic on masonite. That's not even 2 feet across. That's a doable one. You know, right. I could see myself putting that somewhere in the living room. Not really. I would like visitors at some point, so this would be maybe not the best thoughts here, but the other thing that I thought was really cool about it was the artwork was always in this variety of styles. You know, some of it is very of its time and place, very 70s sort of. Trending towards postmodernism. And then some of it, they use classical techniques. You know, it just depends on who was doing it. On page 70 with the doll, this piece of artwork could very well be a cover to a Gold Key comic book.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. And I bet you, this was one of the posters that they offered.
You're probably right.
This looks like about the right size, and it definitely looks like one of the ones that they go, oh, the kids will hang that up in their room and terrify their own selves.
Oh, good heavens! Just again, you could hear his voice. You know, our painting is called The Doll, and this one you'd best not play with. That's fantastic.
He had the best voice.
God, he did.
For that. Yeah.
One of the cutouts that I showed earlier, the one with the Spencer Tracy Hyde, I found the episode. It's called "With Apologies to Mr. Hyde," and it's one of the many blackout sketches that they did, and the blackouts were very short, sometimes not even a minute, barely over, to just basically do a gag. And right. I remember one that really freaked me out as a kid called Junior with Ronnie Cox. And he's in the bedroom with his wife, and he hears his little kid's voice from the other room saying, "Daddy, could I have some water?" And it repeats, and he stumbles out of bed groggy, and he stumbles into the child's room, and he gives water inside this crib, and you hear, "Thank you," and then he cuts to it, and it's Frankenstein's monster, the universal Frankenstein's monster, crammed into a crib, and he throws water on his head, and then goes back to sleep. And it just blew my mind. I didn't know what to make of it at that point. I was like, what in the heck is that? Good heavens. And I think I remember reading that Serling, it was called Junior, and look, I just found the painting for it on page 100. And the painting's really great, but
wow.
Has nothing to do with the episode at all, but except maybe the hands, the black fingernails on the hands. Because he's squeezing. Oh, I get it. It's like the monster's sitting there, and he's got a teddy bear in front of him. He's squeezing it,
crushing the teddy.
Right. That is funny.
Yeah. Wow. Since little is seen of the child behind the exploding teddy bear, Wright used precise anatomical drawing for the feet, legs, and hands to ensure the concept register with the viewer.
Oh.
Yeah. Great notes in here. See the very next page here. Page 102, Marmalade Wine. Now, this one you could hang, in your dining room, and no one would think twice about it. They would just think, oh, look, you got a painting from your grandmother's house. How quaint. Yes, quaint indeed. A very special nightcap.
Linda, the funeral, green fingers. I remember seeing that not too long ago. I want to, kind of share if you have memories of specific episodes. And I need to find it first because I want to talk about it because it's one of those. Oh my God, Pickman's model. when you get to the Pickman's model page on page 138, it's a series of drawings that he does of Pickman's model, the creature.
Oh yeah, there you go.
That is fantastic. I want to find the name of the episode that I'm thinking of, and then I want to pull to it and I want to discuss it because it's one of the ones that I did not remember as a child.
Okay.
But saw upon my reviewing of it, and it was. It's just probably my favorite Night Gallery short. It's a full episode, but it's definitely a short because it does set up a joke. But my God, does it work? Is it episode? What season?
So here's a case of missed it by that much. One of the cutouts I have is for an episode called The Dark Boy.
Okay.
And that's on page 134, 135. Because I've seen the back, it says keep in touch, we'll think of something on 136. Pickman's model is 2 pages later. So close, and that's so far.
Nice. Let's see, this one, okay, it's diary, matter of semantics. It was, okay, season 2, episode 8. So let's go season 2, episode 12, season 2, episode 8. And the what I wanted to talk about briefly, here it is on page 122. It's called Big Surprise. And I just want to read the short opening that Serling goes. Our painting reminds us that there's a strange fascination to digging holes alongside ancient oaks. You give the average man a shovel and an X on a map, and the fantasies come thick and fast. Pirate gold, hidden Confederate treasure, and sometimes the unexpected, and sometimes the unwelcome. Hence the title, Big Surprise. So the episode has these. It's perfectly set in this podunk country, maybe the 20s. And these 3 boys are walking, and crusty old John Carradine, as an old scary farmer, says, "Come here, boys, come here." And this is back when his hands were gnarled with arthritis, and he was just John Carradine. Come here. And they're like, "I'm not going to talk to old man. What's his name? We're not." And one of them's like, "I'm not scared." So he walks up and he says, "Do you like surprises?" He offers them this map. Dig here, and you'll find a big surprise. And the boy's like, "Oh my God, what is it? Just go. You'll find a big surprise." Carradine says, and he, it is 70s Carradine, so he's
right.
old, he's frail, and it's Carradine, right? So the kid takes shovels and gets his 2 friends together, and they go off under this giant oak tree, and they start digging, and the ground is hard, and they're working, and they're making the hole. And as they're digging it, the wind starts picking up and blowing leaves, and the tree is swaying, and it's getting dark, and his 2 friends are like, "There's nothing here, man. This guy just made you dig a hole for no reason." So they start to leave, and his buddy's like, No. I'm sure it's down here. I know it's down here. The other tiger, "You're crazy. I'm out." So they leave, and he's like, "Well, fine. I'm not sharing it with you guys when I find it." So he jumps back in the hole, and he keeps digging. Sure enough, conk, he hits something. Oh, he kind of scrapes it up, and it's like a crate. Kind of a smallish crate, but it's a crate. And he jimmies it open. The wind is picking up. Something ominous is going to happen. He opens it with this horrible creak, and his facial reaction belays madness. The boy just sort of snaps because coming up out of the box is John Carradine.
Oh,
he pulls himself out of the box, leans to the camera, and says, "Surprise." And that's what it is.
Wow.
I know. Just like, I got chills just talking about it.
Wow. I never saw that one. Holy crap.
I didn't either. I've never seen that one. I watched it as an adult. I was just like, "Oh my God, that is freaky as hell."
That would have given me nightmares. That one would have stuck with me. Yeah.
Right?
Wow. That's amazing. One of the ones, unfortunately, as a kid, mine mushed together in a way that is irritating, because I think that there was an episode where a man and a vampire are having a conversation, and there's werewolves outside trying to get in. And I don't remember what it was called, and I don't remember which one it was. One of the reasons why I went back and started watching them a couple years ago is because I was trying to find that episode, and I never did. But that's okay, because now I'm going to probably start at the beginning and just barrel through all of them. I've got the complete collection on DVD now, so
it is definitely worth. And you know, if I haven't ruined it for you, watch Big Surprise and let me know what you think.
Oh yeah, I can't wait.
On so many levels. And Jack Laird, who was the producer of the series, from what I've read before, Serling grew less and less enamored of the way that Laird was kind of forcing his hand on certain vignettes, especially the blackouts. I don't know if it was a question of him trying to lighten it up a little bit, but he liked monsters, and the blackouts were generally like The Phantom of What Opera, with apologies to Mr. Hyde, How to Cure the Common Vampire, you know, A Question of Manners, or A Case of Manners, or something like that. Anyway, but they're like one-offs, little jokes, Junior. But I know Serling wasn't particularly fond of them. In fact, whenever he doesn't do an intro for one, that tells me that he was like, I'm not doing an intro for that.
Right.
You know, it's not worth me thinking of something clever to say.
Well, he was a serious guy, you know, and I think that was something that I always respected about him. Is, you know, his point for the Twilight Zone and for this was that horror is not a junk genre. You know, it's got worth. You know, and I hate that he had to pass on for that to sort of come about. But you know, these are legendary shows now because. I think, you know, mission accomplished. He did what he set out to do, which was pretty fascinating.
Yes, no doubt. This is, and it's from Creature Features. Creature Features Press, I guess is.
I think so. Yeah.
So, and I don't know. Frankly, again, it was a gift. So I don't know if it's something that you can go out there and get now. Still watching this and go, oh my god, I must have this. I can't recommend it enough. It is a glorious piece, a book collection of this artwork. Holy moly, there's some gorgeous pieces in here.
I just went to the sculptures, and you're going to lose your mind.
Oh Lord,
there's some 248 is the start of it, and boy, they kick it off, man.
Oh my gosh, look at that!
See? Wow.
It's
fantastic. I believe they do have stock. Yeah, they made enough on the Kickstarter. There you go. Yeah. Whoa.
That's fantastic.
They made enough on the Kickstarter to afford a complete run. This wasn't a limited edition.
Oh, good.
Or rather, this wasn't a small number. There's I've been following their progress on Facebook, and
okay.
They had a couple of pallets, waist-high pallets of these books.
Okay.
That they were showing off. So I expect this will be available on their website once everybody has gotten their stuff. Oh, Joseph, you have to turn to page 273 right now.
All right, let's find out. 273. 242. Let's find it here. 273. Oh, look at that. That's it. That's the
very
one.
Posters that we were talking about. This ad, in color, no less, shows you all the things that they had available. And yes, see, the chapel one that I had was one of the posters. So
yeah.
Oh, and of course you're going to have that Phantom of the Opera Lon Chaney, because why wouldn't you?
Well, the episode was called "The Phantom of What Opera," and Leslie Nielsen plays Leslie Nielsen. Yes, that Leslie Nielsen plays our Eric in this blackout, and he's with Christine, and he brings her down to the cellars underneath the Paris Opera House, and famously the unmasking scene happens. He turns around, he's hideous. He jumps up, he grabs her, and you know, in the struggle, her face cracks and falls off, and she's just as hideous as he is, and it's love at first sight.
Right. Yeah.
That is fantastic. Oh, no, actually, on the next page,
that's
274,
yeah.
That's the one I remember because you could check which ones you wanted.
Right. Oh, and they were $2 each. Well, I have a $20 bill right now, just hanging around with nothing better to do.
Oh my gosh.
Things, yeah.
Can you imagine? Oh my gosh, really?
I know, right?
You know, I would have. Yeah. Okay. Well.
And of course, our parents were like, $2 for a poster?
Right?
What's wrong with you?
Oh my God.
You could buy a loaf of bread and bologna and mustard and chips for $2. Would you rather eat or would you rather have a poster? Mom, can I think it over?
Right. Boy, they did such amazing stuff.
So this
here.
came about. Apparently, they had an exhibition, probably in New York or L.A., where they had some of these together with the artist. So that would be the thing that Tom Wright was, I think, the main artist on most of these paintings.
The ad for the actual exhibition is here as well, and that's on page 283. You see the Creature Features presents. It had to have been out in L.A. Gallery art exhibit and show retrospective, March 16th through 31st, 2018, and there's some pictures from the exhibition, and God, look at that. They just on 285, the way they had them hung in the blackness, just almost
super
creating.
Smart. Yeah. Yeah, you really have to do that. I mean, for these demand a certain weight to them, Yeah. And they did a great job presenting them in the series, and it looks like somebody really took care of them.
Yes.
Well, it looks like for those of you who are really mad that we're not showing you all the really cool stuff we're oohing and on over, creaturefeatures.com is the website, and I am almost certain if you go there, you'll be able to sign up for updates and emails, and they may even let you pre-order one of these things. I have to tell you, if you are a fan of the show, or if you're a fan of the macabre, and especially macabre artwork, I think this is a absolute must-have item for your collection. It's not cheap, but I think Joseph would agree with me. This is absolutely worth every penny.
Every penny. I wanna quickly talk about these original artworks, not from the Night Gallery, but they have a collection of tribute art that people have done honoring some of the episodes and some of the paintings, and I think these may have been on display at that exhibition, but one of the ones that caught my eye briefly on 291 is a parody of Pickman's Model, where they have the actor playing Pickman, and it's called Paint Me Like One of Your French Girls, Pickman, and the creature is lounging on a Shea lounge, very much like Titanic, and Pickman is painting and looking at us. He's breaking the fourth wall, looking at us, and his painting starts a sketch of the creature, and the words "Help me" is written on.
That's inspired. That's genius. Yeah,
I love that. Oh my God,
beautiful. Very cool. Very cool.
And then of course, it ends with a postmortem. The authors and the episode, or the book ends with an image of the closing credit background. This was the background that would accompany the closing credits.
That's right.
For the TV series. And so that's
as if you were looking back behind you. You are in the gallery and you turn around and you're like, oh well, I can't get out now. Damn. I didn't think this through clearly.
Oh, and happily, they actually have an index in the back which lists all the paintings
in
the episode. So if you go, that episode was episode 8. Well, there it is. It's got them all listed here. Every painting, and some unproduced episodes. So I'm sure that'll be interesting to read about as well.
I gotta say, this I was expecting it to be good, and I think this project exceeded my expectations. Yeah. Just in terms of what they were able to pull off, and kudos to everybody involved for the unenviable Herculean feat of tracking down all of the artwork and the sculptures, and I really appreciate, as a fan who also likes the process. I really appreciate the liner notes and the commentary that's in the book. It's going to be it's gonna take me a week or two to get through, and I'm probably gonna keep it right next to me while I'm going through the episodes, because why wouldn't you at this point?
That's fantastic. Yeah. And wow, I will echo my brother there with ringing endorsements of the book. It is, if you were a fan of it, definitely you need this in your life. There's Absolutely. No doubt. And if you're not, and you've heard about the Night Gallery, I have a feeling that even the paintings themselves would inspire you to seek out these episodes. You'd be like, wow, it's just gorgeous. It is the art of a nightmare, and it's really,
again, if you like grotesque art, or if you like that kind of weird horrific imagery, this is some of the best stuff that was available at the time, and even now. I mean, I think a lot of the artwork in here holds up. And it's this is my fingers crossed hope that once this is done and everybody has a chance to kind of breathe a collective sigh of relief, that they'll figure out a way to go back and maybe do some sort of either limited edition prints, a Giclée print or something like that. Just, it doesn't even have to be it doesn't have to be like a mass produced thing, because I know you want to kind of keep it sort of special.
Sure.
But boy howdy, I would love the chance to have something that I could frame on my and put on my wall as a grown ass man.
No doubt. Yeah. And that would be, the gallery exhibition took place in 2018. And then, as you all know, the world went to hell shortly after that. I would love for them to tour this show.
Yes.
If the paintings are still available and the sculptures and everything that's in this book, not obviously everything, but to tour the art show, I think it would be an amazing thing to go see, to stand in front of these massive paintings, especially when you know the story and you know the episode, and there it is, hanging in front of you.
I expect it will. If I did that, I would be moved, but then I'd turn the corner and be terrified, because there's something about seeing art in the same physical space as you. We're so used to seeing it on screens and on pages, and I can tell you unapologetically that I've been in tears looking at artwork that I've seen up close, whether it was a Pre-Raphaelite artist or even some of the Impressionists at the Field Museum. That's, when you see art, there's something about the way light hits it that you realize that the person that painted it was standing kind of where you are and stepped back from it and said, yeah, I like that. And I guarantee you they were probably working at a breakneck pace, but I know that they were proud of some of the stuff that they did here, because you can see the care. And so for those episodes where the artwork alone scared the shit out of me, I would go to in fact, the Kimball in Fort Worth likes to do this sort of thing. If they do a traveling exhibition, you and I are meeting up, my friend.
Heck, we are. Yes, we are. Yeah. We're gonna we'll have to avoid scary boxes in case John Carradine pops out to say surprise.
That's right. If anybody hands you a treasure map, you don't take it.
Don't take it. Don't take it. Oh my gosh, what a wonderful, wonderful thing. Thanks, Mark, for joining me on this special unboxing episode.
Yes, essentially. We never do unboxing things. I know. I'm so excited. Yeah.
I hope this is the start of something fun. Because I have, we could unbox, collectibles or whatever, and do quick video episodes. That's kind of a neat thing we could explore. So
if those of you who normally follow the Gentlemen Nerds think you'd like to see more of this, you know how to hit us up on all the social media things. Let us know, and we'll see if we can arrange some additional things like this.
I love it. I love it, and it's so good to see you, my friend.
Yeah, you too, man. so nice to have a face to go with the voice. It's just I hate that we're so far apart. I hate that we don't get to see each other very often. I'm hoping 2021 we'll have a chance to catch up, even if it's at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Figure out a way to do it. I'm owed a trip to Austin, and I will absolutely make sure to include you in my round robin.
Please. I guess I'm going to run through quickly so that I don't get our executive producer angry at us.
Yes.
But the Gentleman Nerds is a Cloak and Dagger production, and it was written by Mark Finn, Ben Gibbs, Joseph Futinos, Aaron Derive, although his presence always felt. Additional material, of course, music composed and performed by the amazingly talented Ben Gibbs. I'm not sure we'll have music, but there it is. Promotional material, logos, and the Gentleman Nerds mascot is created by Michelle Fitzpatrick. We didn't have a bouncer this time, so that's good. I'm not all scared. Our sound editor, mixer, and intentional producer is Ben Gibbs. Thank you, Ben. Our executive producer, and the man we all pray never ever gets superpowers, is Aaron D'Arive. And the Gentleman Nerd's attorney is Dr. Gonzo. So I think that's web hosting by Bluehost. Almost forgot to say that. That's important to say. Some guy named Mark Farnash is a guy in a gorilla suit. Always. Noted drunkard Mark Farnash is the man of the gorilla. I'm changing that. Now it's going to be noted drunkard Mark Farnash is the man of the gorilla suit. Please join us in the Lobot Lounge when next we open for our next podcast, or hopefully another one of these great things. Remember to always tip your bartenders and your waitstaff. Ladies and gentlemen, we will get through all of this nonsense. Be safe, Be smart, take care of yourselves and each other. Mark, final words?
Once again, I agree. Yeah, we'll get through it, and we'll have some more episodes up soon. So everybody be patient. Thanks for your continued interest and support. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely. I'm Joseph Fotinos, reminding you of course, that Red Skull lives and McClunky. Nicely done, sir. Yes. You as well. Wow. Oh boy, howdy. Geez Louise. That is a fantastic thing. Yeah. This is going to be fantastic. Ben, how did that look?
Good. It's good.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. Thank you so much, Ben, for helping us out with that.
Really appreciate it.
We actually did almost an hour.
I know. We got gushy.